Yo, good people. It's your homie HerbMan. Listen, you back upside the head with another hot banger. But please go tell somebody to go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on. Yes, sir. And if you're new to the program, welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all the platforms at Love HerbMan. All right, we're coming live on TikTok and on YouTube right now, you guys. I know I'm a little out of pocket, but we got to get this information in, man. I woke up inspired. I just want to get you guys to understand the importance of what we're teaching you guys and about how to bring it back home. Okay, it's okay that you're gone, but we want to show you the importance of bringing this thing back on home, you guys. So you guys keep tapping. I'm gonna keep talking. This is where you learn how to heal thyself. Okay, you cannot heal yourself if you do not know thyself. So we're going to keep drilling in you how to deal with your human frame and human design, because everybody deserves to be well on their way to the happiness, the wholeness, and the wellness that you guys deserve. We all deserve this information. Okay, so I want you to wake on up, get on up, understand what you're listening to today, and we're going to get you to try to understand the importance of bringing it back on home, coming back on home. If you guys are here, put I'm here in the chat. Once we get to 1,000 likes, we'll get into the subject matter at hand. All right, once we get to 1,000 likes, we'll get into the subject matter at hand. Okay, I know some of you guys are going to be, most of you guys are going to be new. We normally come on between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But I will not be available at that time today. So we're going to try to come on here today and get this word in for you guys to understand exactly what we're bringing to the table, okay? Every time you hear me talk about anything, I'm talking about the owner's manual, okay? The owner's manual is not a book, all right? It is a manual on your life. That's it. It's a manual on your life, and each manual is specific to the individual that is geared toward, okay? And we do this by your birthday. Remember that this is an instrument that you see here, okay? This is nothing but an instrument and a tool that we use to be able to decipher the tendencies of an individual from a spiritual and physical and herbal and food, okay, categories, in order for you to understand your stress responses, understand thyself better, so that you can navigate better. So you look at this as a calculator and a compass, okay? A calculator and a compass, right? So if you're ever lost in the sauce, we can get you back on track by understanding exactly where you are. This is also called the ecliptic of the sun, okay? We use this as a tool and an instrument so that we can follow the Son of God, all right? So we have to do that. And when you're looking at parables like the prodigal son, when one son stayed and the other one, there's nothing about mastery, okay? That's all that's about, you guys. We're almost there at 1,000 likes, you guys. Once we get there, we'll get started. I'm going to wait until you look here. I'm going to work for my food. You got to work for yours. Remember that we heal faster together. I need for you guys to share this. It's probably going to be one of the most powerful lessons that I've ever done, okay? But it's going to be one of the most meaningful as well, because you're going to be able to understand the value of life. It's okay to leave home, but you got to come back. It's okay for you to experience misalignment, but you got to get realigned, okay? It's okay. It's okay. Somebody put it's okay in the chat. It's okay. It's okay. I can't believe I've done this to myself. It's okay. Somebody put it's okay in the chat. I can't believe that this has happened to me. It's okay. It's okay. Okay? Yeah, it's okay. Thank you, Miss Mama. Thank you. It's okay, you guys. Well, they said I got high blood pressure. It's okay. Not it's okay that you need to have that, but it's okay. We can deal with that. They said I got diabetes. That's okay. Don't panic. There's a ram in the bush for high blood sugar. Well, they say I got stage 3, stage 4 cancer. It's okay. We can deal with that, but you have to be willing and ready to come on home, to return back to alignment. If you can do that, and it's definitely going to be, see, I don't want to get into the lesson because we're not there yet. Get to 1,000 likes, let's get it, girl. It's okay. Oh, they said I got rheumatoid arthritis. They said I got multiple sclerosis. They said I got Crohn's disease. They said I got ulcerative colitis. It's okay. As long as you're willing to come back home, it's okay. Okay. And the owner's manual is going to show you about yourself in a different light, but it's also going to give you the remedies, the solutions to your issues in life. So yes, it is the most preventative health assessment on the planet, but it's also curative in nature as well. Maybe you've already bumped into a lot of these mountains, and maybe you already ran into some of these ditches of life. Thank you for the 1,000. Let's get into it. Okay. And I want to use this parable as the prodigal son, right? You had one son. You had one son. You had three characters. You had the father, right? This was the characters, right? You had the father. You had two sons. Okay. And I always teach this. If you guys are new to the program, I always teach about the two sons within each of us. Okay. The opposite. So if the sun is in Gemini or the sun is in Taurus right now, what time is it? From 6 to 8. So the sun is in Aries. Okay. Well, guess what? The darkest place on the planet is going to be in Libra. That's your two suns. One of them is the sun here, the shining bright, but the darkest place on the planet has the where there? The moon. So the moon is a reflection of the sun. So that means that it is the two suns. The moon carries light too. The two suns within us. Oh, you won't get this on a regular natal chart reading. You won't get this if you go to your little Google astrology. You won't get this. So you're missing a very important part of you. So again, the father and the two sons. All this is talking about is we're going to say spirit. We're going to say mind, okay? And we'll say body, okay? Spirit, mind, and body. Father and the two sons. One of them want their inheritance right now. Which one do you think that is? One of them wanted their inheritance right now. Which one do you think that is? And then the other one wanted to stay at home. So they wanted to continue the spiritual task, but it wasn't emotionally connected to anything. But the other one wants its inheritance now. What part of you do you feel like wanted that inheritance right off the bat? The mind. Okay. The mind want to be like God off the bat, right? Remember that Adam and Eve, what they represent. Adam represents the body. Eve represents the mind. The snake represents thought. Thought entered into the mind and the body follows. All right. Everybody get that. Please keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking to you guys. Please keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. So in this understanding, the mind wanted its inheritance off the rip, right? Because this is your creative part of you. So it wanted to go out here and experience its godliness off the bat. So the mind can be disconnected from the body, but the spirit stays on baseline, right? So this is one brother. This is the spirit. Right? It stays on baseline. Your mind can go anywhere. Well, wherever the mind goes, the body follows. Okay? Wherever your mind goes, eventually your body is going to follow that. But there can be a disconnection. So here's the thing. Your mind has been focused on the wrong things, right? The wayward things. You want the money. You want the cars. You want the females. And what happens is this stuff starts to get you into some physical trouble. Okay? It starts to get you into some physical trouble, right? Because the body is eventually going to take the blunt of the blow for what the mind desires. And that's the understanding that we're trying to get you to understand. Okay? Your body is going to take the blunt of the blow for what your mind is getting you into. Okay? And what we got to do is bring it back on home, because what's happening is that we're being misaligned. And when you get this misalignment, it's just no different than what I like to call the nervous system dysregulation, overstimulation, dopamine addiction cycles, disconnection from the real circadian rhythm, which is this. This is your real circadian rhythm. Okay? Living in the chronos time rather than the kairos, living in the time on the wall rather than the moments that life give you. Okay? And we talk about this all the time, that when you get too far off and you can't come back home, that's when you under artificial light, processed food, That's when you got disconnected communities all out here, right? You're just choosing the wrong things because you're mentally connected to the wrong program. So we are a lot like that young son. We're a lot like that young son. And you got to understand that the spirit, the Father, it never leaves. It never chases you either, but it's never going to condemn. So that's why it's okay to come back home. It's okay. You guys have been thinking you've been following the right things, doing the right things, but you got to understand that we have moved out of alignment. Okay. The sun does this all the time. All right. Let me erase this. The sun does this all the time, you guys. All right. The sun does this all the time. Look at the sun. Look at the motion of the sun here. This is the sun ecliptic. It's going to come from Aries. It's going to go out here. Right. This is the top of your day. This is 12 noon. All right. So this is see if we can put this here. So you're going to do it. But you got to understand how to manage it, how to regulate. So this is 6 a.m. This is 12 p.m. All right, what we at now? This is 6 p.m. This is 12 a.m. And then you back at 6 a.m. Okay. Now look at that. 6 a.m. I'm back in alignment. Align, meant. 12 p.m. It seems like I'm out of alignment because I moved away from the baseline. But if I was to flip this over, that would be a line too. It would be this line. Okay. It would be this line. So that's an alignment. This is an alignment. Okay. That is an alignment. That'll be 12 p.m. That'll be 12 a.m. right here. This would be 6 a.m. That'll be 6 p.m. right there. You see? Matter of fact, let me put it a little better so y'all can understand it a little better. I can do that for you real quick. You guys keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. So this is 12 p.m. This is 12 a.m. This is 6 p.m. 6 a.m., 12 p.m., 6 p.m., 12 a.m. Everybody see that? So the sun is in this regulated movement. Okay, that regulated movement. But what happens to us is that when we get up, when we get caught up in our sicknesses, when we get caught up in our mentalities, we don't come back down. But you got to understand that source is a regulated position. What we are doing is we're out of alignment. Okay, and that's the younger son. That's the mind. That's your individual consciousness. Okay, because what you're doing is you want autonomy without alignment. And you got to understand that your inheritance is your divine potential. Yes, the mind can create. But leaving home, you're separated from the natural rhythms that God gave us. And this is your real human design. And sometimes when we leave home, we go to a distant land. You go too far off the Richter scale. And then now your identification with ego and the external world seems a little jaded. And this is humanity. This is humanity. So when you're getting that owner's manual and you're looking at it, it's trying to bring you back home. Because what's happened is we've took consciousness and we've tried to build civilizations outside of the natural rhythms of nature. That's what we've done. And we've squandered our wealth. You say, well, what wealth? The wealth of knowing thyself. We're squandering it because that mind can do way more than just eat processed foods and be overthinking instead of sensing. That mind can do way more than eating processed foods. It can create, it can grow, it can cultivate its own foods. You ain't got to be in the grocery store. Your mind can make your backyard your grocery store. You guys keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. Your mind can build community and build empire. So why are we disconnected and all right with it? What's happening is the wealth of knowledge that we have about self, we are literally burning through our own life force. And you need to be rejuvenated, reconnected. Remember when he was feeding the swine? What's the swine? That's the lower self. We're just operating from this survival mode only, living below our spiritual potential. We're just identifying purely from the material body. And that's going to cause biological stress loops. The owner's manual is your map back home. The owner's manual is your GPS for how far you are off home. When you're talking about a GPS system, it gives you two coordinates. I don't know if y'all know this. It gives you your exact location and it gives you your destination. That's what the owner's manual is going to do for that little funky measly $50. You're going to relocate yourself. It's going to give you your exact location and your destination. You can't beat that with an iron stick. And then you get to understand how to now align. Well, where the alignment comes in at, when you understand your life lesson, when you understand your exact location, you'll know where your life lesson is. When you understand destination, you'll be able to see the roadmap there, how far you got to go. How far you got to go. And we can't keep starving for healing. Grand Rising, what herbs will help ED? Your owner's manual, crystal elephant. Okay. Your owner's manual will help anything. Okay. Your owner's manual. I do consultations and assessments, you guys. We don't throw out herbs. Me telling you that herb is only going to think that it's going to work for somebody else. Okay. You get your owner's manual, you don't have to worry about that. Okay. And ED ain't nothing but a nervous system thing. You're not into your woman the way you need to be. Crystal Elephant Holistics LLC. Okay. ED is a nervous system thing. Get back in the game. Get back in love with your woman. Unless you had some kind of trauma, get back in love with your woman. Focus on her. Okay. It used to be a time where she ain't had to do nothing. You'd be like this. So now what's happening with you? All right. So your soul is starving for this healing, but no one is giving you the correct food. Okay. And it's because you're outsourcing, you're trying to get these external systems, but they cannot feed an internal famine. These external systems cannot feed an internal famine. And so a lot of you guys went to doctors and lawyers and therapists and psychiatrists, and you went to pastors, and you went to all of these folk. But I'm telling you that these external systems cannot feed an internal famine. Yeah, medications cause a lot of problems. Okay, they cause a lot of problems. That's why we're trying to get you on. We're trying to get you off of anything that says meds. Right. So meds are middlemen. Meds, not just medication, meditations. Okay, meds, mediums. You don't need that. You just need a straight connection. Okay, straight connection. So I'm not just talking about stuff that's in the doctor's office. I'm talking about anything. You don't need a mediator. That's a med to me. A med is a mediator. Okay, what's going on, Sandra? Okay, and then so now is the question is, when you're looking at the prodigal son, the question is, remember that time where he came to himself. That's the awakening, right? That's the awakening. He came to himself. That means that he started to remember who he was. And so your owner's manual is trying to awaken you to remember who you really are under the guise of nature. Now, we ain't talking about your mom and your dad at the house. We're talking about what you really are under the guise of nature. How nature really designed you as a human being. We know your mama biologically, you look like your mama, you may act like your daddy, but at the end of the day, there is also a personality. There's also some characteristics that nature gave you that you might not understand, and you add that into the equation as well. We ain't telling you to eliminate nothing. We're telling you to do things in addition to. Thank you, Mason. And when you remember thyself, it said, do this in remembrance of me. When you remember thyself, you got to understand that this thing ain't really learned. You have to get it. And when you get it, you got it, you'll be good. He remembered who he was. He didn't learn who he was. He remembered. Y'all didn't catch that, did you? He remembered who he was. He didn't learn. Not learned, not forgiven, not saved, but remembered. And we're trying to jog your memory. Because this is that awakened state. This is that gnosis state. Okay? And that's what we're trying to get you into. And when you see your nervous system regulate again, right? When your breath starts to slow down, that's that okay moment. Oh, they said I got stage 4. That's okay. I can heal myself. The body can heal itself. Oh, they say I got stage 4 kidney failure. See them shoulders drop. It's okay. When I regulate, when the breath slows, when I feel coherence again, that is the return to the alignment. That is the return inside. And then when you start coming back home, it said that the Father ran to the Son. This don't mean literally that somebody ran, because these are not people. They are principles. But I want you to understand that the moment your consciousness can turn back home, back toward alignment, that means that the field will respond to you immediately. That's what this owner's manual thing is all about. The moment your consciousness can say, I'm going back home, I'm coming back to regulation, I'm coming back to nature, I'm coming back toward alignment. I want to follow the way this thing really is designed. The moment consciousness turns back toward alignment, the field responds to you immediately. Because source was never distant, but you the one who left the baseline and ain't following the directions of coming back. You leave, but you don't come back. It's okay to leave, but you gotta come back. That's the real true sense of nature. It's okay to leave, but you come back. It's okay to leave, but you come back. You guys are leaving without the comeback. That's what I'm trying to get you to see, man. All right, you guys keep tapping. I'm gonna keep talking. All of this is in your owner's manual. It's not a book. It's the manual on you. Okay, a specific manual about you. All right. And you can DM us and we'll get you that information, or you can just go to the website and get what you need. Okay, it's called the owner's manual. The source was never ever far away. You were. And that return feels fast because separation was only an illusion. That field responds immediately because it was only an illusion. You thought you was far gone. You thought can't nobody heal that stage 4, stage 5. You think can't nobody get your love life in order. You think can't nobody get your financial life in order. That's an illusion. That's you think that. But if you get back into alignment, the field responds to you immediately. Can't you see what I'm trying to teach you today? You guys put some ones in the chat if you follow me. Put some ones in the chat if you can dig what I'm putting down. Thank you. For some of my new people, I come on every day between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Unfortunately, I won't be able to do that today. So we just moved in the earlier slot to make sure that we're able to get you this information. I've been sleeping on this and dreaming on this. And then, so I had to get it out. Okay. I had to get it out. Right. Then you have this older brother. Right. So we know the younger brother and what it did, but then you got that older brother, right? That's the ego that has never left. Right. That's the ego that never leaves. But sometimes the ego doesn't have the emotional intelligence that's necessary. Sometimes that spiritual ego won't allow you to come back home. Sometimes that spiritual ego only want to follow the rules. Okay? So you have sometimes this thing where you never leave something physically, but you're never emotionally connected at the same time. Because you can be in religious understanding, but still never experience following the Son of God. You could be in a lot of religions and still never really finitely get what it means to follow the Son of God. They're not teaching you this way. And I want people who are biometrically opposed to everything I'm saying to still understand that it is for you. My Judases, this is for you. My non-believers, this is for you. The people who can't even speak the language that I'm speaking, this is still for you. The people who don't look like me, this is still for you. The young folk, it's still for you. The elders, there's a plate for you at the table. I didn't come and bring something that was just for the black folk or for the white folk or for the elite or for the poor. I came to bring something that was for every single body on the planet. No matter what age you are, this is for you. No matter what location, what region, what stage of life you're in, this is for you. My 3-year-old son, Ben, had this already. He don't even know what this means, but it's for him. My unborn child is for her. My Asian brothers and sisters that can't even understand what I'm saying right now, it is still for you, because all we need is a birthday. That's how they found the sun, right? They found the sun from a birthday, and then they followed the stars to get to the location. They had read about a destiny. They read about a destination. They was already prepared for the destination, the destiny, which was the Messiah. They just needed an exact location, and they followed the path. And your birthday does the same thing. It talks about you in a miraculous way. It gives you the destination, the destiny of you. It's going to evolve and it's going to envelop your life lessons and the life meaning and what you're going through currently and what you're going to be going through next. And look, we can't stop storms, but we can prepare you for them. We can prepare you for them. Because when you look at that story, it's about what? It's about descent, dissipation. It's about recognition, return, and ultimately it's about restoration. So it's okay for the descent. It's okay for the dissipation. But we also want to get the recognition. We also need to get the return. And we also need to get the restoration. We can't get caught up in the first part of the story without understanding the totality of the principle. And all of that stuff just mirrors what the owner's man was telling you about your seasonal cycles, your transitions from winter to spring transitions, and all the seasonal transitions. That owner's manual ain't doing nothing but mirroring, talking about your nervous system collapse to regulation, your ego death to integration. It's talking about how you have exited Eden, but also how we can come back home. Heaven is a consciousness. Heaven is your alignment with nature. God speaks through nature. And that's the Father's house. That's the mother's house, or whatever you want to call it. And that Garden of Eden ain't got nothing to do with nothing but principles. It's the return back to re-regulation, re-entrainment, remembering your circadian rhythms and getting in tune with nature, eating real food, okay? Hearing your own breath again. How many people hear their own breath again? That's why we tell you the humming and the grounding and the walking barefoot. These are not theological things, you guys. These are biological. This is not a preaching thing. This is a teaching moment. This is not mystical. This is physiological. And it's all about misalignment, returning to realignment. And we can help you do that with your owner's manual. Any questions? All right, because I'm not going to be on here too long for you guys, but any questions thus far? We must get back into alignment. I promise you that if you get back into alignment, there's not going to be a lot of things that you're going to need. Okay? There's not going to be a lot of medications and meditations and yoga and herbs. And it's not going to be a lot of outside external systems that you're going to be needing. The owner manual exists because people forgot their design. People have left the natural law of life. The only reason the owner manual exists is because people have literally burned through their inheritances, their knowledge of self. And now we're starting to feed the swine. And the work that I do is simply trying to stand on the mountain of social media to all my brothers and sisters and say, come on home. Come on home. Not to religion, but to regulation. What say you? What say you? Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys were live on TikTok, live on YouTube. If you got any questions, this is the time, okay? This is the time. Any question, this is the time. Any question, this is the time. Yes, we're just trying to teach you alignment with natural law, okay? Alignment with natural law. I like to use that parable because it's really more about the biology of separation and reunion, okay? The biology of separation and reunion. And once we understand how to return back to something, you'll understand now how to cure your issues, how to heal yourself. Okay, I didn't get it, Lizzie Longtoes. So don't say I just asked you a question. Use your time to ask it again. Okay, I don't got time to play with no grown folk. Okay, so if you're gonna type, just type the question again. Don't say I just asked you a question. You're using up your time. Okay, it ain't like I'm just gonna be talking to you on here. So when you guys type, just retype your question. Don't try to put out no statement. You know what I'm saying? That reminds me of one thing with the timelines, the high and low points, breaching timeline. Yes, that's all this is, right? But what I'm saying is we're getting stuck in separation, not reunion. So if you start going too far off, then you start getting dysregulated, right? So a dysregulated person look like this, right? Instead of like this. When they put you on the heart monitor, when you go to the hospital, they put you on the heart monitor, right? This ain't that good. This is. This letting you know you got a regulated heart rate variability. But this right here is off the Richter scale. You see? So you got a lot of highs very quick and a lot of lows, but you don't never come to regulation. It don't smooth out. If you've ever traded before on the market, same thing, right? There's a trend there. And a lot of times that trend can look like this. You get that trend, and that trend be boom, 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 boom. Now you look at that trend and you're going to say, oh, this is a what they call a bull instead of a bearish trend. This trend is going up. So yes, you be having all these downs, but you're still trending up. And what I'm saying is you're going far away without the regulation, without the I forgot what they used to call it, but it has to come back and reset. That's what they call it, a reset. Okay. So eventually you got to come. If the market got to reset, you got to reset. Okay. Bottom line. Yeah. If the market has to reset, you have to reset. And so what's happening is the medications that you're taking, the meditations that you're taking, and a lot of this other stuff that you're doing it under stimulation. And for my new people here, I want you to understand something. You never mistake regulation for stimulation. You cannot regulate yourself in an overstimulated mind, body, or spirit. So watch this outsourcing. Remember, if you're listening to sound bowls, if you're listening to guided meditation, your brain still has to be stimulated. If you're listening to the pastor, if you're listening to whoever it is outside of yourself, it's very hard to regulate. But now when you hum, when you close your ears and hear your breath, your body recognizes that. That's not an outside sound. When you hum, that's not an outside sound. That's internal. So I encourage people to close your ears and listen to your own breath, listen to your own hum. Your body recognizes that. It's an instant peace that can come over you, instant regulation. Okay? So you must understand how to bring that back, how to bring yourself. And look, and you can do all this stuff in the office, while you're driving in your truck, in the classroom, in wherever you are. You can quickly. That's why they say, girl, breathe before you respond. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Why? Because that's going to allow you to regulate and come at the situation, come at the stress response, come at the environmental stimuli in a different way. You guys keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. Don't just sit there and watch me. Okay? You keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. I'm working for my food. You got to work for yours. Yeah, them thumbs got to get to working. You know what I'm saying? My mouth going to keep, you keep tapping, I'm going to keep talking. That's that reciprocation of how we continue to flow. I ain't got no book. So it's got to be a flow. Okay? It's got to be a flow. I need your energy. And so that tapping of that thumb, your thumbs, that's energy. And the running of my gums, that's energy. So just like when a producer and a musician meet up together, the best music is when the musician or the artist can feel what the melodies are saying from afar. That brother ain't you. The producer ain't you. So the producer done produce this beat and you over there vibing to it. How can you vibe to an outside beat? Why? Because the energies, you're matching energies. You can tell what that producer was trying to say in the music. Okay. And that's how we make this thing. Remember, we heal faster together. We heal faster together. Okay. Thanks for sharing this information. It's useful. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much, you guys. Okay, I know you guys may be new, but I normally come on from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I try to stay in alignment with this thing here. The sun is in Gemini. I am a Gemini. So when it's 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that's when I like to get my backing. But unfortunately, I won't be able to be on here today at that time. So I just tried to come on here a little early to get this thing off my chest, which is how we're getting so far away and we're being so disconnected and misaligned. And I'm telling you that it's a natural thing to be able to come back and return. You guys can return home. I know your mama might not receive you back. I know your daddy might not receive you back, but nature will receive you back. I know you might can't go back to that church that you went over there and yelled and all in the church and stuff. They might not accept you back. I know that job, you might can't go back to that job. I know that team that you played for before, they might not receive you back in sports. But I'm telling you that nature will take you back. Nature will take you back. And it's time for you to come on back home. We've ran too far off the plantation. And I don't mean that in a negative way. But that Garden of Eden was a plantation of a utopia, where all of our needs and wants and desires were met. Now, because the mind wants to be in this godliness, your wants, needs, and desires are not being totally met, and that's going to cause suffering. But I encourage you to understand that your suffering is an opportunity for transformation. But that transformation is simple. If you're suffering, go back home. You remember that your dad was rich. Nature is rich. If you ain't got money to buy groceries, buy seeds and grow your own food. Are y'all listening to me? You ain't got no money to buy groceries. Girl, I got 50 cents to it. If you go $1, I'll give you a whole pack of seeds. But here's the real kicker right here. I want you guys to listen to this. This is the real kicker. This is the real kicker. If you plant one packet of seeds, it'll grow you more food than you could even eat. Now you got to sell it or give it away. That's how abundant this thing is here. The grocery store ain't going to give you all that. You need money for all of that. But did you not know that if you grew an orange tree, by the time them oranges come, you won't be able to eat all of them. You have to sell it. If you grew tomatoes, by the time the tomatoes come, you wouldn't even be able to eat out of it. I know some brothers right now up in Monticello. I hope they own here, the Howard's Family Farm. Them jokers growing collard greens and turnip greens. They can't eat all of it. So you guess what? They got them going for $1 a pound. So you can literally get 10 pounds of turnip greens, 20 pounds of collard greens for $10. They got to give them away basically because that's how abundant nature is, but you can't get all them collard greens at the grocery store. You see that? The ground is more abundant than your finances. The ground is more abundant than your finances. And if you think about that, brother, right? You got watermelon seeds. You done bought some land, you got watermelon seeds. Man, you ain't gonna be able to eat all that watermelon. You're gonna have to go sell it, or you're gonna ruin it. So you see that if you go back to nature, there's an abundance there. There's a security that's there. That's not in the modern system. And we are ancient beings living in a modern system, but unfortunately, we done forgot the ancient stuff. And what I'm teaching you, you think this is blasphemy, but it's nothing but an ancient system that your folks used to use anyway back in the day. And guess what? It still works. It's an ancient calculator that still works. It's an ancient compass. You ever had one of them old compasses? It's an ancient compass that'll still work. I was telling somebody the other day, you could never get lost if you really understood. If the sun is on your right arm, right? So whatever the sun comes up at, so over here in America, the sun is going to rise on the east, right? So if I turn myself this way, on my right side, this is going to be the east here. So I automatically know going this way is north. True north is that way. So anytime the sun is on your right arm, you're going true north. Yes, man, it's 78. So how can you get lost now? I don't need a compass in the woods. I don't need this, down the third. If I know I drove down 85 south to get to the park and I get lost in the park, if I drove down 85 south, I was coming from north. I know that if I went 20 east, I came from west. I know that if I went 20 west, I came from east. All I got to do is find the sun and get that right arm on there. Oh, come on, somebody. Can't you understand? You don't need a pocket compass. You don't need a GPS system when you got an internal one, but you're not following the path of the sun. You're not following the Son of God. The owner's manual is trying to get you back on track. And then it's easier to recover. It's easier to be able to rejuvenate. It's easier to be able to replenish. It's easier to do it when you got all of this stuff back in order. When to eat, why you need to get back into nature, your spiritual tendencies, your physical tendencies, all of that comes in your owner's manual. If you guys are interested in that, you DM me and we'll get you that information. It's only for a funky measly $50. And here's the thing, this is not a recurring thing. Once you get your owner's manual, just like the owner's manual to your TV, once you get it, you got it, you good. Why would you need to come back to me for it? It gives you all the direction. You ain't got to come to me. The herbs are in there. You go to your local herbalist or you grow your herbs. The food colors is in there. You go in the grocery store. You look at the food colors. Say, okay, he told me red, brown, orange, purple. Boom, 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 and you start eating those things, or you grow those things, those colors. You don't have to come back to me. This is not a thing of me. Stop trying to depend on outside gifts and talents from other folk. We're trying to birth the gift and talent within you. Now, if you want to learn how to do this, of course, we got classes coming up. Okay. If y'all want to go through the classes, that's fine. You go to my website, you fill out a consultation form, and you say, hey, I'm interested in registering for the class. All right. And in the next 30 days or less, that class is going to be for $1,000 for a whole year. Okay. So if you guys are interested in learning this stuff, if you guys are interested in learning this stuff as a masses so that you can teach others and heal your community, that's a class. Okay. You can go to the website, you go to the consultation form and say, I want to register for the class. Okay. And that'll be $1,000 for those who register within the next 30 days. After that, it's doubled. Okay. After that, it's double. That's just how we got to do it because I'm pouring out my life here. Right. But I can't do this alone. I cannot do this alone. We need us in every block so that we can facilitate the health of the world. Our ancient people came in with agriculture, came in with navigation, came in with colonization and cultivation. Those were the four things that our ancient people gave to the humanity, right? Navigation. Now, these are also the biggest industries on the planet: navigation, agriculture, colonization, and cultivation. Without these four things, nobody would exist other than the folks that knew this. Navigation is one of the biggest industries in the world, which is probably the father of technology. It's navigation. Okay. Agriculture, that's where your food comes from, but that's also where your medicine comes from. Colonization, this is where your farming practices come from. We know how to colonize the plants and the animals. That's farming. Ain't that big? Yes. Cultivation, this is how we learn how to use natural resources to build these skyscrapers and buildings and build these cell phones and all this type of stuff. That's where your construction comes from. Okay. You see that? There's no bigger businesses than these. See it as well. And we're doing the same thing. We're doing the same thing here. Okay. Navigation comes from here. Agriculture comes from here. Because when the seasons are, when the high tide, when the low tide. Okay. Colonization. See these pieces, see these pieces and slices. Okay, this is how we're able. If you look at the GPS and you just pull out of it and you see all of those lines, okay, those are colonization. Those are neighborhoods and communities. Okay, those are farms and boundaries, and those are state lines and all of that type of stuff. But it comes from colonization. Your neighborhoods, okay, your farm practices, all of that. Cultivation is the natural resources that we use, the wood and the wood from trees for money and iron and metal and all this type of stuff. We knew how to cultivate. Can't you see how these are the biggest industries on the planet? But we did this. And we gave these industries up to other folk. Okay? And now we're being lost in the sauce. But with your birthday, you guys keep tapping. I'm not going to be on here too much longer. You guys keep tapping. But with your birthday, okay, comes in and say 6/19/79, right? Your birthday now, you can use this as a compass and a calculator. So now we calculate this, right? The first thing is to calculate what this is. 6 + 19 is 25, okay? 6 + 19 is 25. 2 + 5 is 7. So I get a 7 from here. 1979 is eventually going to be 17 plus 9, which is 26. 2 plus 6 is an 8. So I'm going to get an 8 from here. Add these together. 7 plus 8 is 15. 1 plus 5 is 6. Okay, so that's my 6. That's my life path number. So this thing right here puts me in Gemini. Okay, so this is Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. And again, you don't have to believe in this. It's just a tool. It's just a tool that we use to get you back into alignment, period, for your health and all that type of stuff. It don't require for you to believe in it for it to work for you, okay? This is not one of those things. You don't have to believe in this, but it will still work for you. Leo, Virgo, Libra, Taurus, Cap, Pisces. Okay, so I'm a Gemini off the rip because of the birthday, okay? Then you're telling me I'm a life path 6. So a Gemini is an air sign. The life path 6, that's the heart chakra. Okay? That's the heart chakra, but that's also telling me that I'm a healer. Right? That I'm going to heal myself, but I also can have the ability to help people heal themselves. If you know anything about the life path numbers, a 6 is the healer, but it also belongs to the heart chakra, but it also belongs to the air sign. Okay? So boom, these are now my personalities coming through. Okay, you see that? Now, the opposite of the Gemini, if the sun is shining bright here, what's the darkest place on the earth, you guys? Anybody know? If the sun is shining the brightest in Gemini, what's the darkest place on this particular map? Anybody know? I know some of my star peoples might get this, but I want to teach you guys that are new as well. If the sun is shining the brightest in my sunshine, my sun sign, what is the darkest place? Thank you, Twyla. Twyla is one of my star students, okay? Thank you, Sanctuary. It's going to be in Sagittarius, right? So this is the darkest spot. So you can call that the shadow. You can call that the moon. You can call that whatever. But these are my two suns. Sagittarius is a fire sign. Boom. So now I have quantified the opposites. I have quantified my life path. And now I understand my model. I'm a Gemini born in 1979, but I'm a model 6. So now I have my manufacturing date that comes in every owner's manual. It's on the back of your refrigerator, your cable box. It's on the back of your TV. It's out there on your AC unit. The manufacturing date is the birthday. My model number is that I'm a 6. This is letting me know that I'm an air, fire being. That means that I'm a Gemini here, but I'm also an air element, right? So air, fire. This is automatically means I got to watch out for anxiety, okay? Nervous system issues. But it's also got me some spiritual stuff too. Grief and depression can be very depressive, okay? The fire element here allow me to know as well. I got to watch out for what we call that, digestion, sleep, moody, has nothing to do with being a Gemini, right? Muscle issues, circulatory issues, all come out of here. These are my tendencies. Okay, now over here, they also got some spiritual stuff, right? You got to watch out for addiction behavior. You can have an addictive behavior as a fire sign, if fire is in your thing, okay? Self-control. Addictions and self-control. So now, just off of that, I got some boom, 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 boom. Now, where am I? Now, where am I on here? So I only did 2 days of Gemini. See, this is where it gets crazy. This is where the class is going to take you into, you guys. If you guys are interested in the class, go to my website, get the consultation form and say, I want to register. People who register within the next 30 days, your class is going to be $1,000 a year. Anybody who registers after this 30-day mark is going to double in price. Okay. So at the end of the day, now this is where the big dundana comes in at. How are you going to know? So I know my destination. Where your fire sign is your destination. This is where you got to end back up at. But where is he now? This is my birthday. Where is he right now? I only did 2 days. So really 1 day of Gemini, right? I only did 1 day. So let's say that's 0.4 months. I'm 46 years old right now, right? I'm 46 and my birthday was in June. So you would be what, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. So that's 46 and 8 months, right? So I'm 46.8 years old right now. I only did 0.4 years here. 0.4 months here. Each one of these triangles are worth 10 years, okay? So 0.4, 10.4, 20.4, 30.4, 40.4. So then I'm right in here. So I'm 6 years. So I'm 6.4 years into Scorpio. That's my exact location. So I got my exact location and my destination. Where you start from is where you finish. If I can get back around to Gemini, I will be how old, you guys? Everybody know this? If I can make it back to Gemini, if I can make it back to this starting point. So this is my exact location here. See, this is what you don't know. This is what they don't understand. This is my exact location. Thank you, Manny. We are attempting to get each and every one of you at bare minimum back to 120 years old. That's the attempt, because that's full circle. That, can't you see how you went full circle? And you went through all of the life lessons. But what's happening is you're coming in with a lack of knowledge, which means a lack of fuel. Lack of knowledge of thyself is a lack of fuel to get you around this thing in an easy way. The lack of knowledge, I want somebody to put that: knowledge equals fuel. So now we're coming out into this paradigm. And we're dying in 60 to 90. From 60 to 90, that's pretty much our life expectancy. Well, 60 to 90 of 120 is what? 50 to 75%. So you're only having 50 to 75% of fuel, then you're only going to make it to this. But that fuel is that you don't know thyself and you don't have the knowledge that you need to make it around to college. You can't graduate this thing. So now when you look at them people in the Bible and you see 360 and 700 years and 900 years, is because they had the knowledge of how to be in alignment with nature. And that alignment with nature, remember that this thing got abundance. And instead of buying groceries, buy seeds. Okay? Instead of light bulbs, when the sun go down at 6 p.m., the light should go off in your house. When the sun starts to wind down, it's time for the house to start to wind down. When the sun crank up, you should get up. And you'll see that this thing will start to regulate you. And then when you start to eat and put your perspective in eating times, you only got 2 eating times during the day. Taurus is an earth sign and Virgo is an earth sign. So from 8 to 10, if you want to eat there, that's a good breakfast time. Virgo is in from 4 to 6 p.m. From 4 to 6, you want to eat then, that's a great dinner time. Down here, you shouldn't be eating. This is rest and relaxation. So you're not getting enough of this 12 hours, but you're getting all of this 12 hours, and then you're pushing your up time all into your nighttime. Can't you see how you're out of balance? Can't you see the dysregulation? So now you could take medications and meditations and sound bowls and Ricky healing, and you could take herbs and everything you want to. You can't heal if you're not regulated, and you can't be regulated until you understand the balance and act of nature. And you get all of this in your owner's manual, but if you want to learn this to teach this, Go to my website, type into the consultation form you want to register within the next 30 days, and you become a student for $1,000 a year. This class is going to be a year long. But if you just want your owner's manual just to heal yourself, $50, man. Get it. And you don't need nobody else or nothing else. With that being said, I'm going to get up out of here, man. I did everything that I need to do to show you guys exactly what this thing is all about. We're trying to regulate you. Okay? You got to learn how to regulate yourself. You know, people ask me all the time, well, HerbMan, what can I do for this and what can I do for that? I said, look, I ain't got an herb for you. You know, herbs are for symptoms and herbs are for conditions. But if you the problem, what herb gonna deal with you? You shouldn't be on medications for 30 and 40 years. Why? Because you're taking that under stimulation. You should be up under nobody dealing with herbs for years and years and years. Why? Because it is in you. You heal yourself. Okay? Ancient beings in modern times. I get it. It's very difficult to navigate. But what if I told you that we have a navigation tool to get you back on track? And here's the thing. No lie. This is from 30 to 40. I got married at 30 to 40. That's Libra. From 40 to 46 in the last 6.4 years I've been here. I got a baby on the way right now. Ain't that reproduction? I had a 3-year-old in this time. And then I got a baby on the way right now. Because I'm in my reproductive cycle. But if you don't know this, you're thinking you stepping your foot into some mess and this is some bull crap, this and that. So it's easy to understand it when you understand that that's where I'm at. I'm just there. I'm just right there. Some of you guys are in Virgo and you don't know why you're getting sick. Well, this is health and fitness. So either you can fix your health here or you might have health problems. That's just where you at. And when you try to override your body, you're trying to override what nature is saying. That's when you get into these problems that can't be healed or resolved. I have a chronic illness and need medicine. No, what you need is the owner's manual sold through. Okay. You need your owner's manual. You don't need no medicine. What is med? I told you that. You don't need a mediator. You need to come to the source yourself. The body heals itself. You just need to know where you at and what you need, right? The biggest problem with you sold through is that you just don't know what you need. Well, guess what? I don't know you either. I don't know you either. But there is one who do. And with your owner's manual, you getting this from Mama Nature instead of trying to depend on me to come. I don't know what you need. I don't know you. You ain't finna do nothing, but I'll be just as wrong as the doctor. But there is something that knows you better than all of us. And that's nature. That's this. And this is not only going to find the problems in life, it'll also give you the solutions. Okay? And it's going to be scary accurate. It's going to be scary accurate. This is probably I will give this about 95% accuracy. I got a bioresonance machine. It's probably about 80%. You got people out here, they probably about 70%. You got medicines and procedures out here that may be 70 to 80. But I've never seen nothing 95 or better. And I'm just being modest when I say 95. It may be 99. So if you're looking for something that's going to dig up your root problem and then also give you the solutions to the soil so that you can grow your health and grow your wealth and grow your relationships the way that you need to, you got to change the soil. This thing going to give you the ingredients to grow your garden of life. You can't get no better than that, but it takes man out of the way. And allow you to come to the source. And the source of it all is that you are disconnected from nature. Each and every one of us, we're disconnected from nature. We're disconnected from the God that we think we know. Okay, soul through flame. You got to get back in connection with God, and you don't need me there to do that. It's between you and Mama. Okay, you walked away from Mama too young, without enough knowledge. That's what the prodigal son is trying to teach you. You wanted to be your own. You wanted your inheritance early, sold through. But what I'm saying to you is Mama saying it's okay to come back home. And as soon as you turn back to this, your solutions can be solved expediently. What's the timeline thing that you have drawn in the background called the divine goddess of nature? What you mean, this whole thing? Yeah, you get this with your owner's manual, okay? Everything that I'm talking about is the owner's manual. It is the best health assessment on the planet, okay? That's what this is, the best health assessment on the planet. So not only are you going to get spiritual tendencies, physical tendencies, foods, and herbs, but you're also going to get this chart as well so that you can know your location. You know your destination and you know your location. I know I need to get back to Gemini. And if I get back here, I'll be 120 years old. That's the attempt that we're trying to do. And we want you to be able to do this upright, not in a wheelchair, not badly making it, not blind, not feeble. We want you to be able to walk into 120, because here's my philosophy is if we can start to get people to hit this number frequently, then yes, that everlasting life thing that you keep reading about, it becomes a possibility. Right now, we're just focused on longevity. Right now, the whole principle to what we're doing is just simply focusing on longevity. But after a while, that longevity start turning into that everlasting life cycle. Okay? I've survived this deadly illness for 30 years. Yeah, you just surviving, though. That's a bad life. Okay, we want you to not survive, but thrive, soul through flame. Okay? A lot of you guys are on here with this whoop de woulda, I wish I coulda, woulda. You know what I'm saying? You gotta change your demeanor. I just told you everything you need to do to change your paradigm. Say, we don't need no survival. We need some thriving. I want you to thrive, not survive. Okay. Any questions thus far? If anybody ain't got no questions, we can get up out of here, you guys. Again, I do come on normally between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Unfortunately, I won't be able to come on today. So we went on ahead and made this particular video for those of you that needed this information, okay? And it's okay to pull a new audience. It's okay to be at a new time, but I'm going to try to stay within my 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But I needed to get this prodigal thing out because I think that we need to understand the return, the come home part of it. Okay. And it's time to come back to nature. It's time to come back to what we designed from the beginning. Navigation, agriculture, cultivation, and colonization. Nobody can take that away from us. How to boost my immune system? Yes, with your owner's manual with Dr. Sly. You boost your immune system with your owner's manual. Your owner's manual is going to show you how to do everything you got going on. Okay. That's how you boost your immune system. And then on top of that, how do you know you need to even boost your immune system? What about immune modulation? Do your immune system need to be modulated, Dr. Sly? Or does it need to be boosted? So that part I don't even know. So to come on to a feed and ask how to boost my immune system without me knowing if you really needed a boost or not, it's crazy work. Stop looking for answers. Buy your owner's manual and you got the book on you. I don't write books. But there's a manual on Dr. Slay that'll show you how to boost, modulate, show you how to do this and that and the third, whatever comes up in your life. Okay? But for you to ask me about what boosts you, and I don't even know if you need a boost, you might need to be modulated. See, y'all asking stuff without giving me all the information. We don't put that out here like that. Okay? All right, you guys. If nothing else, we'll holler back at you guys at a later date. Love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Until next time, love HerbMan. Peace. Yes, sir.